This video was created by Stephen Ryan, author of the Vatican thriller and Amazon bestseller The Madonna Files and operator of Mystic Post TV. Do miracles really exist? Or is there a logical explanation to the seemingly inexplicable? Randall Sullivan is a former agnostic, raised by atheists, an Ivy Leaguer, and was a contributing editor to Rolling Stone for over 20 years. He is also the author of the great book about Medjugorje, The Miracle Detective, and after a long investigation into Catholic miracles he could not help but conclude that the supernatural realm exists, and this discovery led to his conversion. While traveling in Medjugorje, Mr. Sullivan made his way to Cross Mountain, and during a violent thunder and lightning storm he experienced an inexplicable vision. It changed his life, and he is convinced it was a miracle. Mr. Sullivan took a moment out of his busy schedule to talk with Mystic Post about that inexplicable vision that changed his life. Randall Sullivan: the vision referred to is the experience I described taking place during my first climb up Cross Mountain after interviewing Medjugorje Visionary Mirjana. The interview ended in a bit of a spat. She basically threw me out of her house. In a charming and polite way. Finding myself with time on my hands, I headed to Cross Mountain. It was a blistering hot day. It was so hot nobody was crazy enough to climb the mountain that afternoon, so I found myself alone. Making my way up the mountain I was quickly engulfed and terrified by the strangest and most focused thunderstorm I've ever seen or heard about. Lighting was so intense and close I could feel the heat. I thought, well, if there is a God, I guess this is my time. Strangely, as the storm raged, I then heard a sound of French voices singing. I continued up the mountain on very shaky legs, led by the beautiful song. I then came upon a group of nuns kneeling in the mud at a station of the cross. As they knelt, the thunder and lightning continued to cascade around us. Then suddenly I felt compelled to go down on my knees to pray myself for the first time in my life. After a few moments of prayer I continued up the mountain with the nuns, stopping with them to pray at each station of the cross. And then on the mountain top of Cross Mountain I was comforted by a young woman. I was not sure it was one of the nuns. The young woman then laid a cloth over my shoulders and put a hat on my head. The young woman had a special grace when I felt this immense sense of peace. The whole episode, the storm, the singing nuns, my first prayers, was overwhelming. I then closed my eyes to pray for a moment, and after opening my eyes again I discovered that the sun was out, the skies had cleared, and the nuns and the young woman were nowhere to be seen. I could not believe they were gone. I ran back down the mountain, and then up again and then down again looking for the nuns, not being able to find them. I went into town and asked everybody that I could, or anyone at the cafes at the bottom of the mountain who had seen any group of nuns on the mountain that day. Nobody had seen the nuns. I was then confronted by the thought that I might have hallucinated, but I quickly came to a decision that I had seen what I had seen, and that it would be like slapping away God's hand to deny it. Our Lady is calling. God bless and thank you for watching Mystic Post TV.